Các anh chị nhà phân phối thân mến, chương trình hội nghị thành công kích phát năm tài chính mới 2022 tối nay có rất nhiều bất ngờ mà Amway Việt Nam muốn dành tới quý anh chị. Và trong chương trình này, chúng ta sẽ cùng đón chào một vị khách vô cùng đặc biệt, một chiến binh đến từ Hồng Kông. Người đó là ai? Hãy cùng Đức Bảo theo dõi đoạn clip ngắn ngay sau đây nhé. Mr. Lee Man Bong, welcome to Vietnam.
Hello, Mr. Bao, and to all my Amway Vietnam friends. Xin chào! I still remember coming to Vietnam 9 years ago when it was the 5th anniversary of the Vietnam market. It was full of energy. Even now, online, I can feel the heat of your excitement. In fact, I'm so honored to be here tonight as the guest speaker of this New Year online rally. I hope that after this event, you can feel more positive, be stronger, energized, and achieve more successes in the new fiscal year.
Và sau đây xin được nhường sân khấu lại cho ông Lee Man Bong. The stage is yours, Mr. Lee Man Bong.
Thank you. Xin chào, everybody. Xin chào. You know, when I got the invitation from Amway Vietnam, I was shocked that every day the pandemic in Vietnam has gone so serious. Every day there are over 10,000 confirmed cases. I fully understand the difficult times you are getting through. Why? Because in 2019, that was the 45th anniversary of our home market, Hong Kong. We were so excited to go on the Alaskan cruise to enjoy the trip. But in the middle of the trip, the social unrest in Hong Kong broke out. Situation got worse quickly. People became frustrated, they became sad, they became emotional, they became hopeless. Negative news were everywhere. And for safe sake, we need to check on the Facebook Live news to see if there's any violence going on in the streets every time when we go to Amway or when we go back to our office. People were afraid to come out to face-to-face meetings beginning from that time. And the numbers coming to our meetings dropped significantly. And when we think the situation could not go worse, in January 2020, there comes the COVID-19. Boom. You know, I want to kill this thing by one shot. In Hong Kong, we had the SARS in 2003. The mortality rate was like 30%, and it was a nightmare. With horrible memories from the SARS, we were so afraid, and then we instantly stopped all our activities, all our social gatherings. For instance, the Chinese New Year, that's Tet in Vietnam, came to a complete stop. If people chose not to see their families, they would definitely won't come to any direct selling activities. So I totally understand the feelings that you are coming across right now, but you are not alone. The challenges going on during the pandemic, over 10,000 people got infected every day is not a good news. but believe me, we gotta have hope. I was born in Amway after SARS in Hong Kong. The economy was bad, unemployment rate was high. My wife and I were able to get a job in one of the largest banks in Hong Kong, but we were not satisfied with it. At that time, my wife started the Amway business. At first, I teased her a lot because I thought it was a business about soap. Why are you doing a part-time job like the housewives? I asked her. But as soon as I understand more and more about this part-time job, I discovered how naive I was. Amway is not a business about soap. It is a business about hope. And in turn, it was a business that earned me the passive income, the financial freedom and peace of mind that I have hoped for. And it has also changed my life. Let me tell you more about myself. My parents were teachers, and my brother is a medical doctor. I was a top student in high school, and I could choose whatever the school I like, the subjects I like, and also a job that I want. When I started the Amway business, I got asked by many friends, much like how I asked my wife, "You have a bright future. Why would you waste yourself in a sales job? You should quit and not waste your time anymore." At that point, I was about to give up. And then I asked myself, why am I running this business? I want freedom, yes. Do I want my family to have a good life? Yes. Do I want to take my family to a good trip? Of course. And of course, I want to buy a decent living place. But then I asked myself, will my friend who asked me to quit pay for my living place? No. Will they take my family to a good trip? No. Will they let me take leave when my boss asks me to work? And definitely not. No, your friend is not going to be responsible for your life. So why should I listen to them? I learned one very important lesson here. No one is responsible for your life. No one, not even your parents. Only you. Only you are responsible for your own life. And sometimes, the hardest part might not be your friends. It could be your family members. For my case, my father was a disciplinary teacher. When I started the business, I hoped so much that he could support me. And then one day, I told him, I would like to seriously run the Amway business. And then he said, yes, sure. And then I thought it was a real yes. Then the next day, I asked my father, could you refer your friends to me so I could do some product demonstrations to them? I thought he would support me, expecting a yes. And then he shook his head fiercely. No. I was so afraid and did not ask further. And then the next day, when he came back from school, he told me, Bong, I had lunch with my friends, my colleagues. I asked them, my son is involved in Amway, a pyramid scheme. Of course, he doesn't know what Amway is. Would you like to let my son call you? And of course, all his friends disagreed. One day, a friend of my father came to visit him. They chatted. My father's friend asked him, what are your two sons doing, working for a living? My father answered, my elder son is a medical doctor. My younger son is doing Amway. And this is one of my greatest motivation. I want to prove to my father that I have chosen the correct industry, the correct company, to prove him that I have made the right decision. But to prove that, I need to take patience and I need to grow. In particular, I learned how to be grateful in life. I was a negative person. I used to mourn a lot. My diamond taught me that, have you thanked your friends who listened to your OPP and rejected you? They made you grow stronger. Have you thanked your downlines who complained a lot? They trained your EQ. Being thankful, taking every adversity as a blessing, empowered me under difficult times. I was fighting for my goal to become Founders EDC when the social unrest became so vigorous in November 2019. Tear gas was all around the city, and especially in districts where our meeting venues are. People were afraid to come because of the harmful gases. The only things we could do was to change the meeting to an online meeting. At that time, we were not used to online meetings, but that was our only choice. In the meeting, we talked about Atmosphere Sky, and that month we made a record sales of Atmosphere Sky ever. In January 2020, we have been fighting in the business for over half a year of social unrest. Together with the Chinese Year holiday, we have even less days to work. It seems like impossible to reach our target, but then came COVID-19. People were so nervous about the virus, which killed many in SARS. And that month, the Atmosphere Sky reached another record sales. To be honest, I would rather hope neither social unrest nor COVID-19 happened than having record sales. But what happened, happened. Either we choose to give up and live the easy life, which might not be that easy, or we choose to fight. At that time, we chose to fight. And trust me, you gotta keep your faith. It's funny that God allowed great difficulties to come to us, but there's always a greater blessing coming. To fight in the pandemic, we need new weapons. In the Chinese New Year, since many of our teammates have cut off their family gatherings, we made a video on Atmosphere Sky from an ABO's point of view. And that is one of the reasons why our Sky got a record sales. And that is one of the changes that we adapt to in the new normal. Adapt, adapt, adapt. Do not mourn, just adapt. We gathered the new leaders, the young leaders, and discussed, are we going to choose our fate? Are we going to make some innovations and breakthroughs here? So different members volunteered for different roles, and our team started to have some division of labor according to their strengths and talents. We built our multimedia production team, we built our online meeting team, we built our social gathering marketing team, and we also have our IT admin team. And we made videos to support our ABOs to promote the Amway business opportunity as well as the products. In this picture you see now is a behind the scene of our product demonstration video. Apart from product demonstration video, we had a series of videos, for example, including a full version OPP, a simple version OPP, a health version OPP, a funny version OPP, and also a video on the nutrition breakfast package. With upgraded weapons, we encouraged our ABOs to adapt to online tools. We had a campaign to do online products demonstration because demands for hygiene products and health products were so high. I joined Amway after SARS in Hong Kong when the economy was so bad. A lot of people were looking for alternative opportunities. Likewise, same thing happened in 2008 when the financial tsunami struck the whole world. Every time the economy gone down, it was a chance for ABOs because people are looking for alternative opportunities. Hence, we also had a campaign to show the OPP. Our team also did a lot of Facebook Live events. While we had the strategies to provide some videos as tools for our ABOs to promote, The Facebook Live events are usually for the end customers. And during COVID, we could not do home party, but we could do online home party. The online cookware demonstration was challenging, as the customers could not try the food. And we could not do any video cutting in case the cooking went wrong. But we were fortunate enough to do it successfully with comprehensive preparation. Of course, building people remains our top priority. We persisted in online training to keep our ABO's momentum, while it's definitely not as effective as face-to-face meeting. During difficult times, a good defense could be the best offense. When you may not be able to meet that many new people, it might be a good time to strengthen our existing teammates. Here, I would like to ask all the males here an IQ question. Do you think there is any problem in this picture? Please comment a yes if you do think so. I see that there are a number of yes. In fact, the guys who built the washroom just filled it up with urinals without thinking how two men could use them at the same time. The same happens from time to time. In my own Amway business, very often, we focus on achieving the PVs. We forgot that we are here to build people, and PV are a result of people. And the pandemic could be a good time for us to review what we might have missed. When business was good, income was good, problems were hidden. Our teammates' Amway values must be strengthened to go through hard times. A mistake that I made before was being too task-oriented. At the beginning of my business, I got a very talented partner. He sponsored over 20 people in the first 2 months. My wife and I thought he would definitely succeed in Amway. As we worked along, his weaknesses started to show up. For example, he asked me to help him meet with his customers. That's okay, because he's not free. And then I met with his customers. But then after the meeting, we discovered that he was not busy at all. He just went to sleep. It's okay, they are still my customers. Then one day, this partner got himself a big bandage over his fist. We asked, what happened to you? He said, oh, I fell. And then later we discovered that he actually had temper and hit his teammate. And I said to myself, luckily he did not hit me. Then another day, a downline came and complained that he has been borrowing money from different teammates. But he's not borrowing for any real needs. He's borrowing to gamble. At that time, we were really angry and asked him to leave. And then he really left. We felt so frustrated because actually we got some emotions. We have been friends for some time. And then actually this boy grew in a complicated family. His father was in jail, and he discovered that his mom was just his stepmom at 16 years old. But we never thought much about that. So we felt frustrated because this partner left us, and then we asked our diamond. I remember our diamond asked us, why do you respect the Amway diamond leaders? We said, because Amway diamond leaders, they earn a lot. And then she asked, does that mean that you will respect anyone that earns a lot? Then I think, oh, not necessary. Then she said, we respect diamond leaders because they helped people change their lives. You might not have done anything wrong in asking your friend leave, but you have not tried to help him to be a better person, even if he does not run the Amway business. There could still be one more good person in the community. And then that's after this story, we started to understand the true value of Amway, what it meant by helping people live better lives. It's not just about the products. It's about how you help the people around you to be a better person. We used 3 years to become platinum leaders by ourselves before this story. But then, in the coming 3 years, we built 10 platinums. And it is that capacity with people, especially the people that you may not like, is especially essential for building young leaders. Young people are among those who are more willing to come out during the pandemic. They are energetic, but they need nurturing in leadership. So during the pandemic, when it was harder to meet new people, we shifted our focus to build leadership in younger people and lay a firm root for them in Amway. And these young leaders, they come to our home very often. We understand them, we listen to them, we learn from them. Because we know that to bring up young people, we need to lay down and connect with them. Young people have never been mature, but mature people have been young. So we need to think of ourselves to be young. I remember there's a teammate. The name is Kat. Okay, that's a fake name. She's getting married. And then she has sent out all the wedding invitation to all our friends and his friends, her friends and her families. And then eventually, they canceled the wedding because of some problems. That was really a sad thing. But looking back now, I think that was one of the reasons why we could help those young people. I remember that month we stayed with her one by one, trying to let her think less about the negative things. Every day, our phones were ringing. Where's Kat? Where's Kat? Don't let her be alone. And it's through this crisis, the bonding built up. And sometimes the young people, after this crisis, they become even more stronger. We also let them fulfill their potentials. In organizing young ABO meetings, their growth was significant. As they began to believe how impactful they could be, their identity of being Amway's future grows. Very often, ABOs focus on distributors rather than customers. In the pandemic, it could be a good chance to review our customer services. And stories from customers could be concrete evidence to new distributors why Amway is a business to help other people. Here is a story about a customer who almost nearly underwent amputation because of serious diabetes. Before using Nutrilite, her legs and arms already had wounds that could not recover, and doctors were suggesting her to get the legs amputated. She did not want to, but she had no choice. Then her son came to us. Is it that your supplements could help with diabetes? We knew her situation was so serious, and hence we closely monitored her case. She started using Nutrilite. After 2 months, her wounds started to recover. And after 6 months, her wounds gone away completely. Finally, she got away with amputation and kept her legs complete. We have already got the best nutritional products with the best services. We could write more stories that give confidence to our ABOs. Why our work is having such positive impacts to people around us. You know, previously I mentioned about my father, and he's one of the reasons, one of my motivation why I need to be successful. And when we became EDC, there was a rally, an Amway rally, and then I called my father. Hey, Dad, there's a lot of people who wants to listen to your speech. And then my dad, you know, men are like that. Okay, if they really want, I could help. And I invited him to come to my EDC rally to go on stage and give a speech. Because my wife and I, we are not those kind of people who like to give speech a lot. But my father, he likes so. He was supposed to give a speech of around 10 minutes. But in the end, he talked for like 20 minutes. And then when we left the venue, some leaders come by and then talked with me and said, "Oh, Bong, your father's speech was very good." I was thinking, is that my rally or my father's rally? But in the end, I earned his respect. I earned his satisfaction. And when people ask me again, "You have a bright future. Why did you choose Amway?" I would tell them, because I have a bright future. That's why I chose the Amway business. Being diamond and above, you could go to Amway trips on business or first class. However, eventually, you will get used to it. But the most memorable trip was that when I paid for my parents' business class tickets, which cost about $20,000 round trip. Many people can afford it, but paying for it with a peace of mind is another story. I know Amway Vietnam is going to New Zealand next year for the ALS. New Zealand was also one of my most memorable places. I remember having a helicopter ride with my father-in-law. He never preferred to spend that much money on trips, and definitely not on a helicopter. But in Amway, you not only achieve your own dreams, you can help your family members achieve their dreams. Another thing that I enjoyed so much in New Zealand was the Skyline Lodge. This lodge does not have a motor. It speeds up using the slope of the mountain. But if you stop in the middle, it doesn't move anymore by its own. It's like doing the Amway business. Walk if you could not run. As long as you never stop, you can succeed. I remember once Bill Gates said, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, and then underestimate what they can do in 10 years. In Amway, it's the same. We need to keep moving. I have heard some leaders have experienced skydiving in Dubai in 2019. If you go to New Zealand, it's another chance for us to experience this. Extreme games are so popular in New Zealand, and I believe it's safe too. And it's a good place for skydiving. You know, I was so afraid of heights, but because of my wife, I was forced to skydive. Could you guess which one is more scary? Before skydiving, or after, before jumping, or after jumping? Comment before if you think it's before. Comment after if you think otherwise. For me, and I believe for many people, it's before. Very often, things look scary before it's done. But once you jump out of the plane, the lovely scene gives you a peace of mind. And you're no longer worried about nothing. The same is for the Amway business. It may look scary when you start to run the business, but when you run it for a while, you will feel that peace of mind. In fact, the coach and I wore the same parachute. I live, he lives. The same applies to Amway. Your upline wants you to succeed. And the offer to help is unmatched in any other business because your success can count towards your upline success. I hope I could see you soon in Hong Kong when the pandemic is over. The Peak is one of the most popular tourist attractions. Always crowded with people. You see? But last year when I go to the Peak, I was surprised to see there were no one there. No one in the cable car, no one at the shops. When you are facing difficulties in your Amway business, remember, we are facing it together. And there are businesses out there facing even bigger difficulties. In fact, my Amway business grew a lot during COVID. And even if your Amway business decline, I'm sure that you won't lose any money. You just make less, right? We need to overcome our emotions, change, and keep moving. You can do it. For me, riding a bike is my hobby. And this is the exact same model you're seeing now, exact same model that one of the champions used in Tour de France. When I took a ride on this bike, one day I felt so frustrated because there were so many bikers overtaking me. And then I thought, were there some problems with my bike? Oh no, I discovered it was not about my bike. It was about me. I was not fit enough. The best bike won't make you a champion. It's you. You yourself make you a champion. Difficulties makes the best of us. Endure the difficulties now. They make us strong enough to be champions in Amway. Finally, I would like to share with you a story to conclude my sharing. But before that, let me ask you a question. Could you answer in the comment section? Which one is more, $1 or $5? In this story, there was a boy called Peter. And he has some friends who like to play tricks on him. One day, a boy comes to Peter and asks him, "Hey, Peter, which one is worth more, $1 or $5? Which one will you choose?" And then Peter said, "I'll choose the $1. And the boy teased him, "Ha ha 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 ha! You see, Peter is an idiot." And then the next day, the boy brought his friends to play tricks on Peter again. "Hey, Peter! Look here, which one would you choose? $1 or $5? And then Peter said, "I'll choose the $1. Ha 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 ha! You see, Peter is an idiot." And then Peter went home. His mom asked him, "Peter, you really don't know which one is worth more?" Peter said, "Of course I know, Mom. The $5 is worth more." And then Peter's mother was even confused. "Then why did you choose the $1? Peter said, "Because I want to earn more. If I get the $5 note, they won't come and play tricks on me again. If I take the $1, they will continue to play tricks on me and give me $1 every day." My friend, which one do you think is worth more? $1 or $5? If $1 is passive income, it is worth more than a $5 note. On the way to success in Amway, there would be people calling you idiots. Don't worry, because they don't understand. They don't understand passive income. They don't understand financial freedom. They don't understand what you're earning here, what you're fighting for. Stay firm, adapt to change, keep moving. Then you will be grateful that you have been smart enough to have put your efforts to invest in this business. Be Amway warriors. Be the new captain. I wish all ABOs and prospects of Amway Vietnam to have a successful year of 2022. Thank you and see you soon. Bye bye.
Vâng, xin được cảm ơn những lời chia sẻ đầy nhiệt huyết của Founders Executive Diamond LI MAN BONG. Chắc hẳn các anh chị đều thấy rất tự hào về Amway cũng như công việc mà mình đang theo đuổi. Hãy biến niềm tự hào đó trở thành động lực để quyết tâm vươn đến tầm cao mới trong kinh doanh trong năm tài chính mới 2022, cũng như lan tỏa sứ mệnh mang đến cuộc sống tốt đẹp hơn, khỏe mạnh hơn đến với mọi người trong cộng đồng. Và để cùng nhau tiếp nối tinh thần cháy bỏng này, chúng ta hãy cùng nhau đến với một món quà rất bùng nổ và hoành tráng đến từ Amway Việt Nam. Các anh chị đã sẵn sàng chưa?
Vũ trụ bao la rộng lớn với vô số tạo vật xinh đẹp sống động. Nhưng cũng chứa vô vàn những vấn đề rắc rối. Với sứ mệnh bảo vệ sức khỏe để mang đến cuộc sống tốt đẹp hơn cho toàn nhân loại. Những chiến binh Amway anh hùng quả cảm, không ngại hiểm nguy gian khó, luôn sẵn sàng cho sự bình an của tất cả mọi người. Hãy cùng những chiến binh Amway chinh phục mọi thử thách của thời đại. Chúng tôi sẽ bảo vệ cuộc sống của các bạn. Chúng tôi luôn bên bạn để cùng tiến vào một cuộc chơi mới với những cơ hội cho tất cả những người dám nắm bắt thành công của chính mình.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. I saw the life inside you. Tonight, you and I were beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright, shine bright, shine bright, shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a shine bright like a shine bright like a I saw the life inside
Bạn đã sẵn sàng gia nhập hàng ngũ những chiến binh Amway anh hùng quả cảm.